Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move that the total provision of rupees 1,489, 51 lakhs 85,000 under grant number 16 Majorhead 2055 Police, 4055 Capital Outlay on Police at page 190 to 243 of budget be reduced to rupees 1. That is the amount of the whole grant of 148. I think it is 148 crore.
No, it's 1,489 crore.
1,489 crore, 51 lakhs 85,000 do stand reduced to rupees 1.
Motion move. Now you may initiate the discussion, please.
Mr. Speaker, sir, there are quite a number of cut motions which have been tabled by the honorable members. So I would like to be very brief and specific on few points. Now, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, this crucial support required to this Department of Home Police obviously cannot be undermined. But here, one very important issue is that while the overall police establishment has been supported and provided with all the necessary sanction whenever the demands came, keeping in mind the responsibility of the government to ensure public order and to ensure that overall peace and tranquility in the state is maintained, and overall responsibility, the quantum of which cannot be really quantified upon the police department for various activities. Here, while we provide all this necessary support, at the same time, there are certain areas which is, as it is visible from the demand for grants itself, is somehow skipping the attention of the government. Now, the most important point which I want to raise in this August House to draw the attention of the government is to look at the strength of the police organization in itself. With a daunting task that is before the police organization, we have, having understood this daunting task, agreed to sanction many posts, strengthening the police outposts, strengthening the police stations, establishment of new police stations, establishment of new battalions, RBN battalions, and also strengthening the police headquarters, including various other wings. Now here, the most important aspect is that in spite of this support, which was considered necessary, the department has not been able to fill up the post of wherever vacancies cropped up, to fill up these vacancies on a regular basis. We have been able to adopt the whole transparent recruitment policy in the state of Meghalaya, which enables the police organization to ensure both transparency in recruitment and at the same time expeditious recruitment. Now therefore, this is one area which I would like to request the Honorable Deputy CM to take note of and do the needful that these vacancies are filled up. Even when we fill up these vacancies, we still need to sanction many more posts to strengthen the existing police outposts, particularly along the interstate border. We know the reason why. And at the same time, the areas along the international border, somehow or other, Meghalaya has such a long international border which is referred to as a porous international border, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. Therefore, we know the quantum of the challenges that is vested upon the police organization. We do have the central organization which is under the MHA government of India. But then at the same time, it is inconsistent with the need of our responsibility as state home police in contributing to the internal security of the nation as well as securing the border where our people are considered as vulnerable group of people. So, in addition to filling up of this post, measures has to be taken to strengthen these existing police outposts and the police stations along this, both the international and interstate border. But when I look at the overall allocation of fund, it appears that we are not looking at further strengthening, but at the same time, the burden of filling up these vacancies is also of paramount importance. Therefore, I would urge the government to ensure that these thousands of vacancies which are there be filled up immediately. The process is on. Earlier in the discussion, we were assured that by March, this whole process of recruitment will be completed. But looking at the whole development of recruitment process, we feel that we are delayed further. Youth are waiting to serve the people. Many of our young boys and girls, youth are willing to serve the people. By joining this police organization, let us give them opportunity at the earliest. And Mr. Speaker, sir, another part is pertaining to the crime against women. The department has separate allocation of fund to deal with this issue. There are instances of innumerable crimes against women and children. Now, overall process of investigation and charge setting is an issue. There's a huge delay. Therefore, this is an area which I would urge the government to look at, that the process of investigation and charge setting in respect of these crucial cases be done in a more expeditious manner, and for which the department will have to provide some more support, including strengthening the whole forensic and other related establishments which is under the control of the department. And another part is the huge delay in investigation and charge setting of various criminal cases which have been registered in different police stations. I have had the privilege to seek this information through my unstarred questions in the preceding session. Huge backlog, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, where the cases have been registered but investigations have not been completed. Where cases have been registered, investigations have started but charge setting had not been completed. It is precisely because of this vacancy that has resulted in due course of time, which were not filled up on time. Therefore, it is connected with this. But the outcome, the resultant problem is that because of this delay in investigation and charge setting of the various cases registered in different police stations, justice is delayed. Therefore, the whole administration of justice is adversely affected. Justice delayed is justice denied, as the saying goes. Therefore, this particular responsibility, this honors of responsibility of ensuring justice must be understood by the home police. Therefore, a focus should be provided for this. I have seen many of these people who are somehow directly or indirectly, of course, unless proven guilty, we cannot draw into a conclusion about any men who have been alleged of any crime. Therefore, the burden of living with that sense of guilt by the accused in the whole delay of this investigation and charge setting and the resultant delay in disposal of the cases has lots of bearing in our society, in our family. Therefore, I think this is one area which I feel should be taken as a priority area. This wing must be strengthened. Our officers must be equipped with all the necessary wherewithal through proper training. This is what we tried to do in the preceding years, but I think we need to do more to ensure that all the officers who are entrusted with this responsibility of investigation of cases registered in different police stations are equipped with all the necessary wherewithal, with the support of a robust training process to be given to them. So I think the department should tie up with all the necessary organizations and may have additional support in the form of training. Maybe we can always take the support of the other arm of our government, the judiciary, and I think this will go a long way in ensuring that people who are somehow directly or indirectly included in the allegations of the crime in the cases that is registered will have the benefit of expeditious disposal of cases. Then another important area of concern, this is the reality. Somehow or other, the men of the organization, they are provided with all the support, including police housing. Now the police housing, it is not confined only to police housing. I have shared this concern even earlier while we were in the government. This housing sector for the government employees must be re-looked into, because what we are providing now is 1 BHK. And we see that all these families, once they start raising the family, who are staying in this accommodation provided by the government, here though it is specific to police, but it is also true for all other departments, just 1 BHK, 2 daughters, 2 sons, where will they study? That's why if we go to police reserve, talk to every man of the organization who have been in Shillong for so many years, their children. Just day before yesterday, I was talking to one of the senior men who is about to retire after 5 years. Posting in Shillong, the capital city, none of the children are graduate. 2 of their children are under matric. The reason? The whole adverse ecosystem. I've seen it while I was studying. I've seen one of my juniors who was struggling to get a time to study, whose father was posted and was in one of the police reserve. I think we will all agree, once we go to the police reserve and look at the accommodation facility, I think we need to review it. This housing for all the government employees, though it is specific to police, as of now, through this cut motion, I think must be minimum 2 BHK, so that the children can have separate space to study and they become productive men and women to contribute for the progress and prosperity of the state. I think Honorable Deputy CM will understand the whole gravity of this issue, so let us take it as a measure to be considered by the government as necessity. Then another area of concern is keeping in mind the huge instances of fire accidents reported repeatedly. In my constituency, I hear about these fire accidents almost twice, thrice, unfortunately, in a week. Dangerous trend. There are certain reasons we try to find out. People tend to go for poaching, this and that, and in the process, they ignite the jungle. Then when fire is there, they go after our animals. There is lots of poaching going on. There are also other reasons for this forest fire. Then there are resultant damage to the houses, dwelling houses. Therefore, this fire service, when we look at the quantum of fund indicated in this proposed demand, does not reflect that new additional investment is being made. We need to not only expand its presence across the state, but also need to modernize it, because the challenges before them is ever mounting on a daily basis. And we see the helplessness of this particular important wing of the police. Therefore, I think as a matter of priority and necessity, with utmost sense of urgency, we should look at, if necessary, please look at additional fund to support this crucial sector of this organization, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. Then another part is, we have come up with this Meghalaya Resident Safety and Security Act. Now, it is necessary for us to ensure that this mandate of the law is given enough teeth to make its presence felt, to instill a new sense of security and confidence amongst our people. The whole law is designed to achieve that. Therefore, if we look at the fund allocated here, the head is there because it was necessary, but it is not there. There is no fund indicated in this particular subhead where it has been formatted in the demand for this particular grant number 16. So I would like to urge upon the government, look at this responsibility. All other grants are designed to support the organization as usual. But there are already spaces which reflect that there are certain things which are beyond what are usual. So those which are beyond usual must be looked at. Otherwise, what is as usual? It is a simple thing. There's no more extra effort being made by the government. Though the responsibility has been vested based on the mandate of the law, based on the felt need, therefore, it will be in the fitness of things that look at this particular section and see that the whole mandate of the law is implemented in such a manner that will make other things fall in line in respect of our responsibility towards dealing with the uncontrolled influx from other parts of the country and also the illegal immigration. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, another important part is the traffic. Now, we all know, we all see, when we are positioning the state to be one of the most talked about and one of the most sought after destination, then we have to look at traffic. Traffic can be a deterrence. People will not like to revisit. I have a very good friend of mine who told me, alerted me when I was the chief minister. He rang me up and saying, "Doctor, I'm very happy that I'm in your state. But believe me, I am not going to return anymore because of your pathetic traffic." That time we didn't have the Shillong bypass, of course. So we had a horrible experience. In fact, we have gone through ourselves with that experience. I remember when I have narrated that experience, our minister in charge of health was stuck for 16 hours in the national highway. So that was the kind of situation. We have come a long way. We have now the Shillong bypass. That's why we should expedite that Shillong Western bypass. And that Shillong Western bypass, see, why I'm saying about the road is because traffic is connected with road. Now, police is not consulted when the road is being designed. This is absurd. Everybody expects the traffic police to mend the traffic. And they will have all the reasons to fret. But while designing the road, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, we have had that exercise where a completely comprehensive team sits. So in respect to this management of traffic, I would urge upon the Deputy CM to chair a committee, involve the Minister of Transport also, and you yourself is in charge of PWD, and the Minister of Urban, and other associated departments, and ensure that the whole designing of every road is in sync with what are the constraints that the traffic police face. Where are the bottlenecks? Where we need to have the parking bay? Where we need to have the parking lots? Now, this parking bay is very crucial. It should be the job of the police traffic to indicate where are the traffic bays required to be established in a manner that enables them to manage the traffic in a best possible way. Now, often we say, okay, we are trying our best. If trying our best, if best is the current one, then I think we'll have to revisit what we term as best. Therefore, I would like to recall our earlier discussion when Deputy CM himself was also part of the team, when we decided to have this fund for parking bay. Now, these parking bays are required. Everywhere when we travel abroad, we see a dedicated place for embarkment and disembarkment of passengers. Embarkment and disembarkment of passengers, unless indicated, where will the passenger wait? Here we see anybody standing somewhere and waiting for taxi and signal, taxi will stop. That is what has been going on. Earlier it was okay, but now it is no more okay because you have ever increasing number of vehicles in the traffic. So let this whole problem of traffic be somehow examined collectively by all the necessary departments who should be brought together to look at the challenges and ideate and conceptualize all the solutions. And at the same time, let us have a dedicated, trained, highly trained, professional traffic police. We see now we are, as a stopgap arrangement, bringing home guards, and they are also not on a regular basis. I think it would be important not to have employees on a temporary basis. If we are inducting them, let us ensure that their job also become regular. If the home guards have been inducted to man the traffic with adequate training, give further training, and create an enabling environment in the recruitment process, provide some space for them to have additional advantage at the time of recruitment. Or let the Home Guard Department and Civil Defense recruit, and then you can always have on a deputation. But having this kind of ad hoc management, ad hoc is always temporary. It is not correct. Our children, sometimes the parents even don't know that it is a temporary appointment. They celebrate, my son has got a job. Suddenly after 2 years, they know that, okay, it was not permanent. So they have been relieved of their duty. Ignorance, simplicity, innocence of our people. Therefore, there is a lots of reasons for us to somehow deviate from this whole usual exercise where we see the departments resorting to temporary appointment, contractual appointment. We have not employed our people to that extent that we should say that, okay, the job space is already saturated. Not yet. Look at compare the number of government employees of other states, even smaller states in terms of population. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, these are areas where we need efficient, dedicated people. We cannot expect that kind of efficiency and commitment and dedication if the employees who are assigned with this huge task of responsibility, wherein the integral part is efficiency, commitment, and dedication. With temporary appointment, I think it is unfair. Therefore, the outcome also will be not as desired. So, may I therefore urge upon the government to look at this important aspect of dealing with the problem of our traffic system, and which is again connected with the road safety. Now, road safety, who is going to ensure that this whole road safety ultimately becomes a thing of the past? The concern of road safety, the way the roads are designed, how many accidents are taking place. In many cases, what is happening is that the accident cases are not also reported because of obvious reason. Because of obvious reason, then what happens? Then we fail to have the record of the areas which are considered which are in fact accident-prone areas. We are signatory in the affidavit filed before the Honorable Supreme Court to ensure that we take all necessary measures to ensure road safety. Now, many departments, I don't know whether at the time of beautification of urban area, this particular aspect of traffic management and road safety is considered or not. If we go by what we see of the projects being implemented, the manner of projects being implemented, then we can easily draw a conclusion that this is not being done. For the example is the Tura, beautification of Tura town. I don't know who is that brilliant consultant who has given this whole beautification plan, that the pedestrians do not have any more space. The footpath have been encroached. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, it is illegal. It goes against road safety. Nobody bothers to tell because police is not being involved. Police must be involved. If somebody has to, we talk about programs which should be inclusive in nature. Therefore, pedestrian, it is not only able people like us. There will be people who are also not able as us, who may be requiring a wheelchair. Now, in Tura, just imagine anybody, if he has to be escorted in a wheelchair, how will they travel? The footpath, I used to enjoy walking along the footpath. Now the space is encroached. So these are connected with road safety. We want to beautify our cities, our towns, our neighborhoods. But there is a way of doing, not by compromising the safety of the pedestrian. We have to understand that the safety of the pedestrian is paramount important. Now, how will the police regulate when all these hundreds of children are coming out from the school? Just few days back, we heard the honorable member from Umsning speaking about it. I had a review during my time. Road safety connected with traffic management. This road safety fund is available with the government of India. We have to indicate, identify those areas of concern, areas of accident-prone areas. Now, these particular Shillong, Guwahati Road, Ribhoi, the NHAI should be told to immediately construct, whether it is underground crossing of the road or overhead footbridge for the pedestrians. It is the responsibility of National Highway Authority of India to ensure safety of the pedestrians. And here in the instant case, it is on a daily basis. On a daily basis that the children, hundreds of children are traveling. So identify the areas from the road safety perspective, and the Minister in charge transport is the chairman of the State Road Safety Committee. Therefore, it involves all departments. It involves PWD, it involves police, it involves everybody. And the District Road Safety Committee, the DC is the chairman. Therefore, it is a binding responsibility, legal responsibility. And money, a dedicated fund is available for the same purpose. Now, because of this traffic mismanagement, because of accidents, all the challenges of dealing with the victims of accident. Who takes care of the victims of accident? Emergency. Now, emergency, have we been able to put in place the people who will respond, the first responders from the side of the concerned departments. And at the same time, the trauma center. Government of India has provided us out of their dedicated fund to establish trauma centers. There should be a dedicated signage indicating how far is the nearest trauma center. We have got sanctioned during our time for Nongpo, for Tura, for Joy, for Shillong. Do we see, after completion, a bold signage indicating where the trauma center is? It is not there. This is necessary. This is legally binding on the concerned committees to ensure and provide. Now you go to the trauma center, there is no dedicated team. There is fund. These whole trauma centers that has been established has been given by Government of India out of that dedicated fund. Therefore, operationalize these trauma centers with proper manpower. You have to have a dedicated manpower. There is a separate emergency in the civil hospital, but the separate trauma center, emergency and separate trauma center, how many people will get injured in any event of accident, we do not know. We do not know when the earthquake will strike, and then there will be disaster, and therefore, trauma center. So dedicated team. Tura, I checked up myself. There is no dedicated team. There is no post created for the trauma center. And similarly, Nongpo, Shillong, we are just sharing the manpower existing with the civil hospital. But for trauma centers, dedicated manpower must be sanctioned. These are connected with traffic management and the resultant problem that we face due to lack of traffic management and the these accident-prone areas which are not identified and which are not corrected. We see interventions from MORTH, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, pertaining to identifying those accident-prone stretches of the roads, of the national highway. They are doing their job. But what about the state highways? What about those accident-prone areas along different roads? This is also a responsibility towards both traffic management, road safety, and security. That's the reason why I suggested that the mandate of the law of Meghalaya Resident Safety and Security Act be effectively implemented. It also has this particular component. Erection and establishment of CCTVs along the highways, along the accident-prone areas, because accidents do take place because of unregulated driving also. Now, another part of concern is the way Shillong and other roads are being regulated in terms of traffic. We have relevant law under the MV Act for aggregation of these transport providers. I will not refer to the Act, but it is necessary for us to regulate this. I was trying to find out what is happening in Meghalaya. What is happening in Meghalaya is that all these aggregators from outside are having their own those transport service provider. There is a terminology used. I'm just missing that transport, like Rapido. Rapido. Have they registered here as aggregator? Are they regulating? Are they being regulated? These are necessary because it is linked with road safety. It is linked with other security and safety. The identity of the person concerned, who is the transporter. We have a film, The Transporter. You know. So there are challenges associated. Therefore, the law provides all the parameters to be adhered to. And this also comes with not only regulating the service provider, but at the same time also to look at the revenue and how to make a system that all our young boys, all our youth who are willing to be party in this particular entrepreneurship model of providing transport system facilitate, because they have to register. Let there be a kind of single window system where this is expeditiously done. I am made to understand that all those youth of our own state who have embarked upon this space of entrepreneurship to provide this kind of transport services have somehow contributed to a great extent in employing our youth. But there are constraints because of delay in completing the whole process of registering and giving them the necessary permit to be a transporter. So this may be looked at. This is a matter of pride that our youth are coming themselves and utilizing this as a space for becoming entrepreneurs, but at the same time also look at that when they do this when they provide these services, let the mandate of the law be adhered to, which will make everything fall in line in as far as the safety, security of the passengers are concerned. And with these few words, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, I would like to draw the attention of the Honorable Deputy CM, an experienced man. He has managed this department for a long time, including the complexity of the problems associated with policing and internal security problem. May I expect that the government look into all other things. There is a, as the scripture says, you know, for your heavenly Father knows all the things that you are in need of. So government is also like that. The Honorable Deputy CM also knows what are other things that he has to do, what other things the department has to do. But we have sought that look at all other spaces. It is not possible for us to, go to every areas of concern, but I have just flagged few areas of concern. Please look into this and go beyond it. Whatever we are asking, you go beyond it because that is the responsibility that is vested upon. So with these few words, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, I move this motion.